Live at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers continue a rivalry that began way back in 1950. And no matter what the records, this is always a dandy. I'm Pat Summerall. The Giants, it looks like, have lost this afternoon to Philadelphia, so now there is only one unbeaten team, the 49ers. And we have a chance to witness history being made here this afternoon at Candlestick as the 49ers are shooting for their 19th consecutive victory. The Bears did it twice. The Dolphins did it in 1972 and 73. Now the 49ers have a chance to be alone and win 19 in a row. Ironically, when the Miami Dolphins did it, the team that broke that winning streak was coached by my colleague John Madden, the Oakland Raiders. John, do you remember what it was about and what it was like?
Yeah, I remember what it was like because it was a highly motivated thing. I mean, here the Miami Dolphins, where they were the world champions, they had this streak going. And I'll tell you, if you don't have the streak yourself, then you want to beat the guy that does have the streak. And to me, that's the amazing thing about these 49ers is that they have all these streaks going. And we can see history today, 19 straight games. We know that they've won 2 Super Bowls. And to me, all that pressure and being able to handle it is amazing. And it all starts with this guy, Joe Montana. I mean, he is so cool, and every game he comes out and is almost perfect. Maybe the best quarterback that ever played the game. And you go to Roger Craig, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, the whole package. But this is an amazing football team.
And they have been amazing for the last couple of years. 2 Super Bowls in a row, shooting for 3. That's the final now. The Eagles over the Giants 31-13, and so there is now only one undefeated team in the NFL. The 49ers, who are about to kick off at Candlestick Park. Robert Del Pino and Gaston Green back deep for the Rams, and Mike Kofer to kick it off. Windy at Candlestick, but the rain has stopped as Del Pino goes from the 1. 49ers special teams, excellent. They stop him at the 18. Jim Everett, the quarterback, having a rough year. In front of him, Hanky Newberry, Smith, Love, Slater, and Damone Johnson at tight end. Buford McGee and Cleveland Gary are the 2 backs. Willie Anderson and Aaron Cox started wide receiver as they miss Henry Eller. He will not play because of a hamstring problem. Rams from their own 17. Everett's going to throw it on first down. Side complete to Clipper Anderson. Here's the 49er defense that Everett and the Rams will be looking at. They open with a 3-4 with Holt, Carter in the middle, and Kevin Fagan, all having fine years. Haley, Millen, DeLong, and Romanowski, the linebackers. The secondary for the 49ers hurting somewhat. Pollard and Griffin, the corners. Lott and Weimer, the safety men. 9-yard gain for Everett and the Rams on first down. This is Cleveland Gary. No gain. Michael Carter, the first to hit him.
And then they had both those safeties up there. That's one thing about the 49ers. They have Ronnie Lott, now Dave Weimer at safeties. And when someone runs the ball, those 2 guys, watch them come up. They try and act like linebackers. They want to get in there. If there's going to be a run, they want to get in there, whack, whack, and get their hits in on it, too.
In most cases, they hit like linebackers.
That's one big advantage.
3rd and 1 at the 27. That's Cleveland Gary. He might have gotten the first down with that last lunge stopped by Ronnie Lott. Michael Carter, first to hit him.
Yeah, you talk about the rivalry, Pat, and the streak of the 49ers. You know one thing, that anytime the 49ers and the Rams play, these guys are going to go after each other.
Doesn't matter what the records are.
No, it doesn't. And then, you know, you take that whole pride thing. Ronnie Lott, we saw up there in the backfield. He played for John Robinson at SC. You know, played down there from Southern California. He wants to make plays like this against these Rams.
Didn't make the first down. New Orleans, if they had lost today, and they still might because that's not over, the 49ers would have clinched the NFC West. How about this one? Indianapolis. Miami continues to roll, improves their record to 9-2. English back to punt. Don Griffin back deep. A blustery day in San Francisco. Good kick. Griffin cut down at about the 46 by Paul Butcher. Joe Montana. Has there ever been one better? In front of him, an offensive line that's coming together. Bubba Paris, Guy McIntyre, Jesse Cipollone, Barton and Wallace, and Brent Jones having a fine year as a tight end. Craig and Rathman the runners, Rice and Taylor the wide receivers. You don't find many weaknesses in that lineup. 1st and 10, 49ers at their own 46. Montana to Taylor, and Taylor. Darrell Henley stopped him.
You know, Pat, here's an interesting thing. This is how the Rams usually play defense. That's their base defense. 2 inside linebackers. Now, here's what they're starting with. They're starting with a big nickel. They have Newman, a defensive back, up here, Stewart up here, Wilcher here, and then getting a rush from Kevin Green. They want to play him with the nickel to show him a different look and get him out of sync.
And they want him to beat him running, if they can do that with this defense. Montana to Rice.
You know, John Robinson said that any time that we have ever given him trouble defense, we have shown them something different from what they've expected and then mixed it up. So they started out that time with 6 defensive backs and only 2 linebackers. Now, on 3rd down, they've gone, of course, back to their base defense because it's a short yardage situation.
3rd and 1, in fact, at the 44.
That was, they want to mix him up, get him out of sync, and the other thing is have a defensive back on Brent Jones, the tight end.
Craig and Rathman. That's Rice who comes in motion to Rathman. Complete. Larry Kelm was there to knock him down, and the 49ers will have to punt.
Good play by Kelm in that short yardage thing. I think they have studied these 49ers so much and know them so well that the minute Rathman left that backfield, Kelm got up tight. He didn't give him any cushion whatsoever.
What wind there is would be against the 49ers. Darrell Henley and Jerry Gray back deep to the Rams. Barry Helton back to punt. Fair catch. The Rams will take over at their own 15. 31-yard punt. 0-0. Opening minutes at Candlestick. NFL next Sunday, in a game many of you will see, features the victorious Philadelphia Eagles at Buffalo. The Eagles beat the Giants today to break that winning streak. Randall Cunningham leads the Eagles into hostile Rich Stadium to face Jim Kelly and the Bills. Winners of 8 in a row and holders of the best record in the AFC at 9-1. The rest of the schedule next Sunday: Detroit at Chicago, Rams Cleveland, New Orleans Dallas. So check your local listings for the game in your area. Right now we're at Candlestick Park. Everett back to throw it quickly. Holohan, the intended receiver, fell down.
Yeah, one thing about Jim Everett, he's going to get back and get rid of that ball. And we're talking to Pierce Holt yesterday, and he said that's a frustrating thing about it. You go to rush him, but he's always going to throw it before you get there. He said one thing we may have to do is hit him after he throws it a couple times, just to let him know if he holds it any longer, we're going to be there.
Just let it know we're around. Del Pino split wide right. 2nd and 10, and Everett back to throw it again. Incomplete. Intended for Aaron Cox behind it. The Saints held on to beat Atlanta 10-7. So if the 49ers are indeed going to clinch today the NFC West Championship, then they'll have to do it themselves with a victory over these Rams.
I think that's one of the great jobs that George Seifert has done as a head coach of these 49ers. Is his word is focus. Keep them focused just on this game, the game you're playing. That's all you care about.
Everett pass complete to Holohan, and that will be a Ram first down. Stopped by Don Griffin.
That's what Pete Holohan is. When the Rams get in a third down situation, if you want to look for one guy, look for number 81, because that's the guy that Jim Everett's looking for. You know, he just gets open kind of ugly. You say, what kind of pattern did he run? I think he ran kind of a stumble, weave, and stop.
That's a new pattern.
You can find guys on Saturday night running a lot of those.
This is Cleveland Gary. Hit behind the line first by Charles Haley and stopped by Keith DeLong.
I think this is a thing that has probably bothered the Rams more than anything, and John Robinson, is they can't get a running game going, and part of it is this 49er defense that has a lot to say about that. But John Robinson has always been a running coach. You can see there, he's talking about blocking now, what the defense is doing. And when he can't get running going, I know it frustrates him.
Gary and McGee behind Everett. He's going to put it out to Buford McGee. Romanowski with it. Key game in the AFC. The Raiders and the Chiefs. Phoenix ahead of New England, 7-0 first quarter. That's the final. And those records indicate that the Eagles are very much in the thick of things.
How about the Chicago Bears going down? The two division leaders, the Bears leading the Central, and of course the Giants leading the East, both defeated today. Who would have thought?
Everett back to throw. Gets it to Buford McGee. Close to a Ram first down. I was down on the field just a few minutes ago, John, and talking to the 49ers. They may say they don't look at the scoreboard and they're not aware of what's going on elsewhere, but believe me, they are. And to a man, they said, I'll tell you one thing, it's not going to happen to us.
Yeah, that's right. You know, sometimes playing the second game or the late game as a coach, it can provide a motivator, because you watch that thing and you're not thinking of upset, and then you see it happen, and then it does make your players make comments like that. I'll tell you, if it's not going to happen to them, they better start getting their pass rush a little closer to Jim Everett.
First down, Rams.
You cannot let Jim Everett play you with a clean uniform. You cannot let him have clean feet. When he takes a step forward, there has to be someone there putting a whap on him. And so far, the 49ers haven't gotten there.
That's his style of game. He likes to play with clean clothes.
And if he has clean clothes on, he'll whip you, too.
Cleveland Gary. Broke one tackle. Ball, lost the ball. That's been his problem of late. Don Griffin made the recovery and knocked the ball loose, I believe.
And what happens, the Rams finally they tried to go inside, they couldn't get it. They finally found what they could do is get outside, and then Gary gets outside and he gets stripped and loses the ball.
That was Don Griffin.
Don Griffin just took it right out of his hand.
You couldn't call that a fumble. 49ers take over. Candlestick Park. 49ers take over at their own 48-yard line. Montana to throw it. Comes out of the pocket, hit from behind, and he fumbled. And the Rams have it. Kevin Green. And Montana never never saw him coming.
I think it's that big nickel. It's Brett Fairnays is going to come from behind. He's number 51. See him right there? He hit Montana and also stripped him. Then he grabbed both of his arms, and then Kevin Green came up with the fumble. You know, that's that same defense we were talking about, Pat, that what the Rams call big nickel. And what they're doing is they're playing 6 defensive backs, 2 linebackers. Number 51, Fairnays, rushing from one side and Green the other side. Didn't look like either one of them got blocked that time.
Well, show him something different. Damone Johnson, the man in motion. Everett has his pass picked off, intended for Holohan by Dave Weimer. Weimer. And the 49ers get it back at their own 44.
That is not the kind of football you expect. 3 straight turnovers. First we get the fumble by Gary. And then we get the takeaway, and then here we get Dave Weimer coming in with the interception here and the return.
Weimer has really been a solid acquisition for the 49ers. Played all those years with the Saints, and he's been revitalized. Montana to Craig. And Roger Craig pounds into Ram territory. Stopped by Wilshire and Newman. But a gain of 9.
As you say, he's an 11-year veteran, Dave Weimer there, and he's brought a new light. You know, sometimes the players, they've had this winning streak going, they've won 2 Super Bowls. You bring in a guy like Weimer, and he hasn't won 2 Super Bowls. He hasn't been part of these streaks, but he enjoys it and maybe appreciates it more than the other guys. And I think sometimes he even sells it to the other guys. Hey, this is great stuff going on here.
Some of the 49ers were saying to us yesterday, a little bit short of a first down, that Weimer, and it's hard to believe this is possible, has made Ronnie Lott play better.
I think because, you know, he's hustling or running around there, and he wants to get in on some of this and play. And I don't know if you can make Ronnie Lott any better.
That's what I wondered.
To me, Ronnie Lott is probably the best guy that ever played safety in this league. I think they make a pretty good combination back there.
They surely seem effective, and have been, as evidenced by the record. Second and short. This is Rathman, the flag on the play. Rathman had the first down and more. Vince Newsom made the stop, but a penalty marker down, an 8-yard pickup by Rathman.
I think they finally said, hey, let's just settle down here. Let's settle down, get this game under control, get a little running going.
Illegal motion.
They didn't need the penalty.
74 offense. Still second down.
74, of course, is Steve Wallace, the right tackle. Usually a guy that will go in motion, that was a run play, will usually be a pass play, and will usually be against a tough defensive guy. And Wallace is drawing Kevin Green today, and that's a tough assignment for him.
Rathman is the lone setback. The handoffs to him. Ball's loose. Rams have it. Newsom made the hit. Kevin Green again made the recovery.
I'll tell you, that was some hit by Vince Newsom. We talk about hitting by safeties. In this first quarter, we have really seen some hitting. Watch number 22 come in, and this is a real collision right there. I mean, that thing doesn't look like much, but that popped Rathman back and popped the ball out.
So we've had 4 turnovers in the last 5 plays. The Rams take over at their own 49.
Now, I think these things tend to happen more in rivalry games. You say, is this a sloppy game, or is it just 2 fired-up teams going after each other? I think the Rams are just trying to take one more swing before they go down.
They're reviewing whether or not this was a fumble. Doesn't look to me as if there's much question.
Well, I think it's was he down before he fumbled is what they'd be looking at. See, the knee is down.
The play stands. Fumble. First down, LA.
Johnny Greer, the referee. That was a fumble.
Yeah, and that was a hit by Vince Newsom that caused the fumble. That wasn't just some guy dropping the ball.
Everett back to throw it again. Complete to Aaron Cox. Stopped by Don Griffin, but Cox gets it down inside the 49er 30.
It was funny, we were talking to Jim Everett yesterday and says, you know, how do you have a chance to beat these guys? He says, well, the chances we have is Flipper Anderson, Cleveland Gary, and myself. And then, of course, he just hits a big one here to Aaron Cox. He's playing with a bad hamstring himself. Henry Ellard's out with a hamstring, and Aaron Cox has a hamstring.
Holohan in motion. Now he puts up left. Hand off to Gary, or pitch back to Gary. Or Gaston Green, I beg your pardon. Don Griffin made the stop.
You know, Gaston Green, this is his third year with the Rams, and it seems like every time they're always saying two things. We got to get Gaston Green in the game more, and we got to get him the ball more. And he usually plays about 5 plays and carries once.
Don't forget about those Packers. Second down and 3. McGee and Green. The setback. Gaston Green bounces off one tackler. Stopped by Kevin Fagan. Picked up 2. About a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, that's the strength right now, this 49er defense. See that guy, 75, Fagan? He's a right end. The nose tackle, Michael Carter. The number 78, Holt. Those guys play the base. They really play the run well. You don't get a lot of movement in there. Jim Burt's in there now at nose tackle. They try and rotate the nose tackles to keep the press.
That's Buford McGee. Tosses the ball out to Cleveland Gary, and if that's not a forward pass, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, I think that's a planned play. I think that was an option. That was a takeoff on the old college option where instead of having the quarterback do the option, you let the back do the option. Watch the handoff here, and now if we can stop it right here, we can see here's the runner here. Here's the option man right here, and he gets the pitch right out here, and I'm sure that that's not a forward pitch. I'm not that sure that that's not a forward pitch. I'm sorry.
Well, as soon as they kick the extra point, it's no longer a question. Extra point's good. And it's 7-0 Rams. Well, to attempt to explain, Everett hands to Buford McGee, who then gets the ball to Gary, and they're saying the call is legal forward pass.
That's what they said in the official statistics. Instead of being a lateral, they're saying because he was behind the line of scrimmage, McGee was, that you can throw a forward pass. So statistically, they're calling that a forward pass.
It's 7-0 Rams. Short kick. Dexter Carter will handle it. Out of the pack is Carter. Finally caught at midfield.
Well, the 49ers drafted Dexter Carter #1 to do these types of things. They thought he'd be like David Megan of the New York Giants, be a good returner, give him a back out of the backfield and all those things. And he's starting to do them now.
Injured player down. Ram. Fairness made the tackle. 7-0. 6:12 left first quarter. Candlestick Park in San Francisco. The Rams leading 7-0 first quarter. 6:12 remain. injured Ram, Greg Clark, their leading special teams tackler.
You know, if you look at how it happened, Pat, you'll see that it was his own guy. Here's Clark going down right there. And watch him as he comes in here. He's being blocked by DeLong. Now watch right there. His own man comes in and gets his knee. You know, we seem to see at least one or two of those every game this year where
your own man.
Where it's done by his own man. Something like that. A guy set up playing off a block and another player coming into him.
6:12 left in the first quarter. Rams leading 7-0. Montana to Craig, and Craig is hit behind the line of scrimmage by Alvin Wright. Loss of 4.
Now, Roger Craig just hasn't been the same Roger Craig, but remember him 2 years ago?
Remember this run? This is in Anaheim. And this run.
You know, in this game, he had 190 yards, and I remember we did the game, and I thought that Roger Craig in this game was the best running back in the National Football League at that time.
Rice loose.
And talking about best and throwing accolades at, this guy here's probably the best receiver. He hasn't really had great games against the Rams, and you can see the last 5 games he hasn't scored a touchdown against these guys, and he's had some real battles with the left corner of the Rams, Jerry Gray. But I think when you talk about wide receivers, I think you have to put Jerry Rice at the top of the list.
I certainly would, without question. Harry Sidney is now the lone setback. Montana to throw. Rice. Pass is picked off by Pat Terrell. Off the hands of Rice. What a heck of a catch. Number 37 made to pick this one off.
Yeah, this is that nickel we're talking about. Look what happens here. Here's Brent Jones. Good coverage here. That's who Montana's trying to go to first. He has to come off of Brent Jones. You see they're covering Brent Jones right there. See the coverage right in the middle of the field right there? That made him come secondary to Rice, and that was a pickoff. He threw that one a little behind him. Pat Terrell comes in and makes a dive. The fans are booing for a replay. They say that Pat Terrell didn't catch the ball, that the ball hit the ground, and I think we're going to get a review.
Certainly looks like it. I thought he caught it.
Well, Jerry Rice was not the primary receiver. He was coming to him after trying to go to Brent Jones, who was covered. He threw it behind him, and here comes Pat Terrell.
Well, the ball did hit the ground after he got his hands on it. If it stands, that'll be the 3rd turnover for San Francisco. Uncharacteristic.
Be the 5th turnover of the game. Pat Terrell, of course, is playing. We're talking about that defense the Rams are using, a defense they call Big Nickel. They're playing 3 defensive linemen, 6 defensive backs.
The play stands. Interception.
That was a tough one. Now, if what you said, that's the way they had to see it, that he caught it, then the ball hit the ground, and it's okay.
Everett. Sacked by Pierce Hope.
I think the 49ers probably are getting a wake-up call now. You know, they started out, maybe they said what happened to Giants isn't going to happen to them, but in this first quarter, it's starting to happen to them. And somewhere they're going to have to pull the dampers down on this Ram team, because this Ram team comes in with very little or no confidence, highly frustrated, and the 49ers in this first quarter are giving them confidence. Everett
back to throw again. Caught by Willie Anderson. Flipper. Tackled by Pollard.
Well, see, Flipper Anderson out here. This is the guy that, this is a matchup that he wants. Flipper Anderson against Pollard. He just runs a hook there, drive him up the field, and come back to him. Now watch the pass protection. Watch him pick up the stun here. See number 94, Haley? He starts to the inside. Center just waiting for him. They picked up that left side nicely.
Starting to rain now. At Candlestick. Third. They need 3 yards. Everett going for Anderson. Incomplete. Eric Davis, Ronnie Lott close by. The Rams will have to punt.
You talk about a guy who really has a weight on his shoulders. Jim Everett does. And, you know, coming off last year being in a championship game, and when you have a year like the Rams are having, someone has to take the blame for it, and a lot of the blame is falling on Jim Everett.
English punt. Don Griffin. The 49ers will take over at their own 31-yard line.
You know, you wonder what NFL players do on Saturday night, like the night before the game. How do you get yourself ready? Listen to this.
It's a little tense in there. That was perfect.
No, it actually feels a lot better. It's like popping your knuckles, you know, how it feels good. Same type of thing.
Head to the right, Joey. Good.
Montana may have to go back to the chiropractor.
Yeah, you get that guy working you over on Saturday night, then on Sunday the Rams do the same thing to you, looks like to me.
Loss of 4.
Well, Montana is not off to one of his better starts, and that was the plan of the Rams, though. The plan of the Rams was not let them get in sync. You know, keep them out of sync, and they've done exactly that.
Taylor and Trigg split left. That was Taylor in motion. Montana gets the ball to him. Stopped by Darrell Henley.
Here's a good matchup here. Now, these guys both went to college. Watch Steve Wallace. He's number 74 there. Excuse me, he's right here. And watch him. He's blocking against Kevin Green. 2 Auburn guys. That's going to be a matchup all day.
That's like playing anything against your friends. It's friendly, but you want to beat them. 3rd down and about 10. Craig was the man in motion. Montana back to throw it. Intended for Taylor. Incomplete. Darrell Henley. Chasing and timed it well.
Well, what the 49ers did is they brought John Taylor in tight. They brought him as a tight end. And what the Rams did is they put Henley right up on him. And they tried to run that crossing pattern. The Rams have taken away the tight end. So now they put Taylor as a tight end. The Rams put Henley on him, and he just followed him.
Barry Helton back to punt for the 49ers, who have yet to make a first down. Henley. Skids on the wet grass and got not much done. Greg Cox back down to make the stop. Greg Clark, by the way, was taken to the locker room for x-rays on his right ankle. As the rain increases, so does the wind.
No, that ought to be some good mixture when it hits the grass, and we ought to have some mud. So when you get rain and wind and mud, this could turn into be a real football game before it's over.
Cleveland Gary. A gain of 14, a Ram first down, tackled by Ronnie Lott.
Good blocking by the center, Doug Smith, and Tom Newberry, the left guard of the Rams. They just get right in behind him. Watch this. The left guard here pulls, tackle blocks down. Smith makes a hole in there, and there's a big crack for Cleveland Gary to get into.
Now that's the kind of thing John Robinson would like to see and would have liked to have seen. Gary is the lone setback. Devone Johnson on the move. It's Gary again. Hit hard this time by Keith DeLong for a gain of 2. Make it 2nd and 8, just inside the 40 for the Rams in the closing seconds of the first quarter. Rams lead the 49ers 7-0. Del Pino, I beg your pardon, Faison split wide left. Everett back to throw. Flipper Anderson juggled it. Wound up flying through the air and almost intercepted by the 49ers.
Yeah, it looked like a pinball machine. It looked like the flipper. You know, a pinball comes down and you hit the flipper. Watch when this thing hits the flipper. It comes there and then it gets hit. Boom, there's a flipper and it flips out to another thing.
Flipper got flipped by Keith DeLong.
The ball got flipped.
3rd and 8.
This is either a highly intense game or a very sloppy first quarter.
Cleveland Gary stopped by Darryl Pollard, close to a Ram first down. That's the end of the first quarter with the score: the Rams 7, the 49ers nothing.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota's quality line of cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. McDonald's, you know the one. It's McDonald's for food, folks, and fun. And by Tot, the premium choice.
Pat Summerall, John Madden at Candlestick Park, San Francisco. Misty and rainy. And perhaps muddy. A football kind of day, and a guy who's been through a lot of those, Jackie Slater.
I'll tell you, and that's the whole package. I mean, you go there, you play like heck, you go out and you get a little mud on you, you come in and you spit a little, and then the next thing you go to the oxygen. That's what he's getting ready to do next.
English back to punt, and Don Griffin back deep for the 49ers. The hang time is good, the distance was okay.
Now there's the oxygen. You need a little oxygen down there, but up there, whoa.
You better have some helium up there.
That's what keeps it up.
The Fuji blimp furnishing those pictures of San Francisco and Candlestick Park today. '49ers take over, trailing the Rams 7-0. They still have not made a first down.
I'm watching the blimp up there. It's wobbling. It looks like it's having a hard time keeping it on its axis.
Montana. Roger Craig. No room. Wilshire the stop.
Look at the blimp. I mean, it's up here. Look, it looks like it can't stay straight. It's moving this way, and then sometimes it puts its nose down that way. Like, I'm still not sure. See how the nose is coming down? Now the nose is coming down this way.
Blimp looks like it's ready to go into a hunker.
And then it goes up this way. The blimp's off its axis already. Look at it, it's wobbling around up there.
Second down, Montana to throw. Rice fumble. Rams have it. Wilcher got it on the hop. Or maybe in the air. 4 turnovers.
4 turnovers and no first down for the 49er offense. This is amazing. But the Rams, I think, have them out of sync. I think they're not letting Montana get into rhythm. When he does get into the rhythm, boom, they're coming up and making hits like that, like Jerry Gray did.
And Mike Wilcher did catch it in the air.
Watch Gray come in there and watch where he put his head right on the ball and knocked it out to Wilcher.
First down, Rams at the 49er 19. The Giants, the other undefeated team, already have lost. Right now, the Rams have the 49ers on the ropes. Flag on the play. Pass complete to Holohan. He's to the 4-5-yard line. Stopped by Millen, but a penalty marker down.
I'll tell you, this is amazing with the turnovers and the penalties. And the 49ers have been playing, you know, at a highly efficient level. And this first half, they haven't been highly efficient.
Those turnovers, so uncharacteristic.
Yeah, you got the turnovers, and then then you got all the other things. This one is pulled on the left guard there, Tom Newberry. It said that he moved early. I don't know. That looks like getting off on the ball pretty well. And they got him for holding. I don't know exactly what he did there. They got to let these guys play football a little.
That's like you have a quota to call. Everett back to throw. Good time. Flipper Anderson out of bounds.
Maybe out of bounds, but that was a heck of a throw. I mean, he drilled that out there. You're right. I mean, sometimes you wonder where those calls come from. I mean, that was Newberry was off on time. You got the offensive lineman can use his hands, and there's no greater drive blocker than, drive stopper than a holding penalty when you're down going in for a score.
2nd and 20. Everett back to throw it. Anderson. Ooh. That came close to being a touchdown. Darryl Pollard just tripped up Anderson after a gain of 19.
You got to give the Rams credit for good pass protection. Charles Haley, number 94 there, the 49ers, is one of the best pass rushers in all of football now, and he hasn't gotten to Everett yet. And I'll tell you, it all starts. You can have all this other stuff in the world, but you better be able to protect. Look at this good pass protection here, and let Everett step up. And again, if you let him do that, the guy's going to kill you.
3rd and 1. Handoff. Gary, touchdown.
That was a combination, good blocking, good running, and poor tackling. Rams got it with that good pass by Everett. And the run there, and then you remember how they got that first one, that option play. The Rams are pulling out all their tricks.
Cleveland Gary's 2nd of the day. Extra attempt by Lansford is good. And the Rams lead 14-0 with 12:35 left in the first half. There have been 5 turnovers in the first quarter. 49ers 3, the Rams 2. McGee, the pass, an unusual one. Cleveland Gary for the first touchdown, and then Cleveland on his own, the 2nd touchdown with some good blocking. Flag on the play.
Let's watch that touchdown again, man. Watch Buford McGee is here. He's going to get a good block right here on DeLong. But here's the guy that has to make the play. Darryl Pollard He's not blocked. He comes up and misses the tackle, and Cleveland Gary just takes it right in. So you got the combination of a good block by McGee. Watch the lead block. Boom, right there. Good run by Think. Bad tackle by Pollard. Can't tackle like that, or this is going to happen to you.
First down, 49ers from their own 22-yard line. First and 10. Canada Taylor. Darrell Henley made the stop. There's a flag on the play. 8-yard pickup. San Francisco's first 6 possessions. A punt, fumbles, 3 of those, interception, and another punt. Face mask violation against the Rams. That's the 49ers' first down of the day.
I don't know that wasn't a double face mask. You know, John Taylor is one of the great straight arm guys in football. And watch Taylor, 82. He straight arms right there. That's right to the face mask. Then the retaliation, again, is the one they always catch. I don't know about that one.
Looked like he had him by the jersey.
Yeah, these guys got to let him play down there. Loosen up.
Montana quickly to Rice. Rice out of bounds at about the 45. Forced out by Vince Newsom, a gain of 9.
Talking about loosening up, I think that's what the 49ers have to do. They have to loosen up a little, and they have to start getting the ball to Jerry Rice. Get their ball to their big playmakers. When you get in a game, you get in trouble, you got to go to your stars. You have to go to Jerry Rice. And they have to go to John Taylor.
And then the stars need to rise to the occasion.
Then they're up there in the blimp. When it rains, they got to clean their lens on their blimp. Already, I don't know where they are.
Roger Craig. Not much. Maybe 2.
I don't think that blimp's going to be up much longer. They're just having trouble. I mean, they're having trouble with their lenses. They're having trouble staying perpendicular. See, they got to be perpendicular. See it going down now? Right over the stadium. It's gone.
Well, I see it coming back.
I don't think it goes away that easy.
No, they got a lot of character. Incomplete, intended for Craig.
You know, and the thing is they have people here that just cover the 49ers for a loss. I know that some major magazines and so on will just send writers. You know, it's like, you know, the Death Watch, where they just have someone there that will come to follow a team in case they lose. So there's a lot of people here that if the 49ers win, they aren't going to write a story, but they're here to capture this history and this streak. You can see them all there. They're there. They got the things. They got paper over their deals. They got stuff on top of their heads.
They look like they're waiting for a flight. Montana bounds again. Mike Wilson, flag on the play.
They have really thrown Joe Montana and the 49ers out of sync. In fact, so much so that they had an illegal man downfield, but Montana is the master at finding the open guy. And he looked 3 or 4 times that time, and there was no one open.
Steve Young, the backup, signals in the plays.
Again, I think they have him confused with this 6 defensive backs.
Number 62, offense, illegally downfield on a pass. 2nd down.
And I would think if anyone playing the game today or any day who would be the most difficult to confuse, it would be Joe Montana.
Well, they're playing him with 6 defensive backs, and they've really taken away Brent Jones. They've taken away his tight end, which is kind of a safety gauge for him.
Montana gets it, this time to Harry Sipney. Stopped by Kevin Green.
That 26 is Newman, who's really been doing a good job in the tight end. You see Steve Wallace, one of the hustling tackles downfield. He came down and he said, Newman, you've been playing up there around the line of scrimmage today. I'm going to go downfield. Watch it right here to the right of the screen. Watch 26. Whoa! And then he did a rollover on him. I mean, he not only hit him, but he rolled over on him.
Montana back quickly again, and he got out of the trap. Gets it. Pass is complete to John Taylor. What an effort.
They say Montana doesn't run to his left anymore. Well, if he's getting pressure like he was from Kevin Green from the right, I'll guarantee you he'll run to the left.
10 minutes, 6 seconds left to play in the first half.
Taylor keeps both feet in bounds, but Joe Montana was getting heavy pressure from his backside on that one. Watch Jerry Rice. You say, why didn't they throw it to him? He fell down.
Great. Got by Wilshire. Picked up 6 yards.
I think that's one way that the 49ers can get the Rams out of this defense. In fact, the Rams are bringing in their 2 inside linebackers now that work on the run, Stams and Kelm, is by running against it. Because they haven't had any success past, and they've had a lot of turnovers. I think they have to come to some point and say, if the Rams want to do this, we're going to run. You hear those noises down there, the contact, and then the yells. They're having fun. Well, the Ram defense is having fun. They're taking batting practice on this 49er offense.
Well, they've been under heavy criticism.
Well, you know what
they call a soft defense.
Well, they probably do, and when you're behind, it's hard, but it's easier to play defense when you're playing downhill, and that's what the Rams are doing now with this 14-0 lead.
Ron Lewis just activated by the 49ers, split wide to the left. Complete. Intended for Mike Wilson. Covered by Newman. No gain.
You're Anthony Newman down there saying, I didn't hold you, I didn't hold you, I didn't hold you, which probably meant he did hold him. Probably meant he's dirty. When a guy starts saying he didn't do something, probably meant he really did do it.
It's one of those, who me? I didn't do that. You kidding?
That's right. It's right here in the right of the screen, right there in the middle. This time we can see that he was holding him. You can see the 5 in Wilson's jerseys pop back. He knew when he said it. When he said he didn't do it, you knew he didn't do it.
There you go.
49ers forced to punt. Down at about the 3. Bradman down in the coverage. Rams take over at their own 3. Well, the weather conditions have gotten to such a severe degree that the Fuji blimp has taken refuge. They're headed home. Goodbye, blimp.
They don't make blimp drivers the way they used to.
Well, no mud, no sweat. That's Gaston Green. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. And knocked down for no gain by
somehow Charles Haley got in there sideways. Did you see him? He penetrated and into Gaston Green, but Charles Haley wasn't square. He was kind of sideways when he ran into him.
Charles Haley's one of those.
Charles Haley right there, Pat. I don't know how he gets in there. He comes in and watch him. He's in there backwards and sideways. You see that tackle?
Got it done. Everett back in the end zone. Threw it to George Seifert. The Rams' last 4 possessions, touchdown, 2 punts. A touchdown, both by Cleveland Gary. 3rd and 10.
One was a long drive, and then one was pretty good field position. But I'll tell you one thing, Jim Everett is 7 for 14. The 49ers in this first half have given the Rams something they didn't have coming into this game, and that's confidence. They better take it away.
Let's see if they still have it. Everett back out of his own end zone. Incomplete, intended for Buford McGee. Haley put the pressure on Everett.
Yeah, but I don't think they've knocked Everett down yet. I don't think the seat of Everett's pants or the back of his jersey are dirty. In fact, you can see they're not. And until they knock him down, he is going to keep throwing against them.
English back in the back of the end zone, punting against the wind.
Good place for a punt block.
Don Griffin. He just barely got it out of there. Griffin will field it for the 49ers, and they'll be in good shape. Flag on the play. Wilshire made the stop. 40-yard punt. Now let's check out the penalty flag. Johnny Greer, the referee, against the 49ers.
The 49ers are still going to have good field position, though. They're going to be on the other side of the 50. And this is where, you
Illegal
know,
block on the return, number 50. First down.
Hey, this is a great place to come on a punt block when a kicker has to come out of his own end zone. And that's about as close as you can get without punting it. How Johnny Jackson missed that one, I have no idea.
At Candlestick Park in San Francisco, the Rams and the 49ers. And the Rams lead the unbeaten 49ers 14-0 with 7:15 left to play in the first half. The 49ers have the ball at the Rams 39 on 1st and 10. Pass incomplete, intended Rathman.
Yeah, again, I think we look at that shot in the sideline and we see Larry Kellman, Frank Stams there on the Rams sideline. That's 52 and 50. They're the two inside linebackers that normally play in the Ram defense along with 99 right. They're playing them in a nickel today on 1st down and 2nd down, and they're just playing to stop their pass. You see Newman is playing as a linebacker, number 26. Stewart is playing as a linebacker, and they have confused the 49ers.
Montana gets it out to Rice. A catch. Rice got both feet down for a gain of 9.
Hey, this is the guy that can do everything with his hands, getting the hands on the ball and stopping your feet. You know, letting your hands keep working and reaching out and stopping your feet. Most people, where the hands go, the feet go. Say that John Taylor, you see him in the sidelines. The other receiver has twisted his right knee.
3rd and short. That's the first down by Rathman. Over the left side, a pickup of 1. And should be enough for a first down. The Eagles stop the Giants. Minnesota just overpowered the Bears. Don't forget about those Vikings when you start to talk about playoff picture as well. Their record improves now to 5 and 6. Craig hit at the line of the scrimmage, but lunged for a gain of 3.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that every time the Rams play a run defense, the 49ers run, and when they play a pass defense, the 49ers pass. The Rams are really playing this cat and mouse game with the 49ers and doing a good job of it.
No flag. There is no flag. 2nd down.
There was a flag on the ground.
they ought to change that terminology. You know, to say that, you know, like we picked it up or we really didn't mean it or we were kidding. Rather than there's no flag, you say, what do you mean I saw a flag?
Yeah.
Don't tell me there's no flag. Get some new words.
Second down. Montana back to throw. Incomplete. Doug Reed put the heat on Montana.
Yeah, if you look at this, watch what Montana is seeing. If we just watch now, when he's ready to throw, here's Montana. Now here's what he sees. He sees his guys are covered all over the field. You see what they're doing is they're playing tight on everything in here, keeping two guys deep, and they're not giving him anything in that 5-yard range.
On third down, Montana back to throw it. Now he's going to take off. Montana dives for it up for a first down. Michael Stewart, Mike Wilshire. Stopped Montana, but he knew exactly where he was.
You don't think he's a competitor. You know, a lot of times you can go down and they can slide and go feet first and they can't hit him. Montana knew where that first down was and he knew he had to get it. He went head first and got it.
First and 10, San Francisco at the Ram 18-yard line. 4:47 left in the first half. The Rams leading 14-0. Handoff is to Roger Craig, left side for a couple.
Yeah, the Rams now have their two inside linebackers in there, Kelman Stams. Number 50 Stams was a guy who put the hit on that. He just laid a shoulder in there and stopped everything. These guys play the middle pretty well. Stams, Kelm, Big Alvin Wright, number 99. If you're going to run, they want those guys in. If you're going to pass, they don't want those guys in.
Well, they're expecting run right now because those guys are in. Dexter Carter was the man in motion, and they're going to throw. They get it to the tight end, Brent Jones. That's why they were playing that big nickel earlier in the game, to keep him out of the game.
Right, and they got out of that big nickel, and the first thing Joe Montana does is go to Brent Jones. Brent Jones has kind of become a very important part of this offense. The Rams went back to their basic defense, and then the 49ers went back to what they wanted to do coming into the game, and that's find that tight end.
First and goal at the 5. John Taylor back in. That was Brent Jones' first catch today. It's Craig and Rathman behind Montana. Taylor, touchdown. Cover man, but Montana threw it so that no one could catch it but Taylor.
You don't think they work on this one? He looked all the way to Taylor, and he just throws him a jump ball. And what you do is you throw it to that second pylon back there. They practice this for hours. They just stand there and throw it to that second pylon up where only Taylor can catch it.
Plays 39 yards they win. Montana to Taylor, touchdown. Rams 14, 49ers 7. 3:06 remaining first half. As we said in the beginning, John, it really doesn't matter what the records are when these two play. It's a rivalry that goes back to 1950, one I remember well, and I know you do from growing up in this part of the country.
Guys like Billy Wilson, you said you were talking to, Gordy Salto, Bob Connor, Bob St. Clair, I.A. Tittle, Hugh McLean.
Gaston Green got it back to about the 20-yard line where the Rams will take over after a 15-yard return.
Let's watch that touchdown again, Pat. Here's John Taylor. Now watch what he does here. He is going to move. Now the ball is going to be in the air, and right here he's going to stop. Now with the ball's in the air, now he's here, he stopped, but he gives Montana that much room to throw the ball. See, by stopping and then pivoting and getting between he and the defender, he let Montana throw it to that pylon.
Gary. Stop quickly, maybe a 2-yard gain. Matt Millen out to make the hit. Another guy that's been sort of revitalized.
Yeah, you talked about Waymer, and I think Matt Millen's the same type of guy. Played in the Pro Bowl. Raiders cut him, came to the 49ers last year. Brought them a lot of life. So he's one of those scrappy guys, one of those fighter guys. Loves to play football, would probably play it for nothing. Just loves the, getting in there, the contact, the hitting. One of the few guys, everyone that loves to hit, this guy does.
Everett back to throw. Got him in. Flipper Anderson. All the way to the 49er 25 before he stopped by Pollard. 53 yards on that pass completion.
Well, Jim Everett says if we're going to beat him, he says I have to throw it to Flipper Anderson. Look at that. What he does to Darryl Pollard, that's the guy they wanted to work on. Perfect throw, great pattern.
2-minute warning given to both sides. 14-7 Rams. Saturday college football doubleheader action begins at 12 noon here on CBS, and in the first part of our doubleheader you'll see the Texas A&M Aggies take on the Cotton Bowl bound Texas Longhorns. In the second half of the doubleheader, SEC rivals Auburn and Alabama do battle. Right now doing battle the 49ers and the Rams. Cleveland Gary looking for someplace to go. Left side, Keith DeLong brought him down.
Yeah, I still say the 49ers have to get to Jim Everett, and they haven't done it. They haven't knocked him down yet. His uniform is too clean. Look at that. If he has time like that, to throw like that, then he's going to get big plays like he just did to Flipper Anderson.
That's Charles Haley down and injured for the 49ers. 14-7 Rams. They're still looking at Charles Haley. Let's see if we can see how it happened.
We're going to see him, Pat. He's going to get hit by his own man again. If we can just get the thing started. Now, if we can stop it right here, we'll see. Here's Haley, and his own man is going to get caved in from this side to hit him. Watch him. He's coming in to make the play. Now watch, right there is where it happened. That's the second injury we've had today where the own man has hurt the player.
Looked like Fagan got knocked into him. You talk about a loss. If that's serious, that's a loss.
I think that Charles Haley was probably the best pass rushing player thus far in the NFL season. I know the games that we've done, he has been the most dominant pass rusher that we have seen.
They're taking him right to the locker room.
And I think the 49ers, I know George Seifert has said, if we are going to have a good team and we are going to have a good defense, Charles Haley has to have a big year for us. I'll tell you, he really has been having a big year for these 49ers.
Place will be taken by Keena Turner, who's playing with a heavily bandaged chin, which he hurt in practice this week earlier. Everett back to throw it. Outside to Gary. Nailed just as he caught the ball by Keena Turner.
And here's the pressure. Here's the thing with Jim Everett. He's been sacked one time, hurried one. Like I said, they haven't knocked him down yet. No batted balls. They just have the one interception. Jim Everett is way too clean for this 49er team to beat him. And I'll tell you, to do that, you have to give credit to that offensive lineman. That guy right there, Jackie Slater, one of the best of all time.
3rd and 10. And Everett back to throw. He is hurried. Does get it away. Anderson gets the rebound and gets down to about the 5-yard line. Dave Waymer almost had an interception, and it turns into a Ram first down.
I think Flipper Anderson has to love to play here at Candlestick against these 49ers. You remember last year he had like 2 90-yard plays against them, big plays against them. I'll tell you, he is the guy. He has to be the Rams guy today.
5 catches for 113 yards already for Flipper Anderson. .43 seconds left to play in the first half. The Rams leading 14-7 over the 49ers. 1st and goal at the 6 for Los Angeles. Handoff this time was to Buford McGee, and a Ram touchdown from 6 yards out.
Hey, these Rams came up from Southern California with one thing in mind, that they were going to start off and come in and whip these 49ers, and they have taken it to them. Talk about a team that's been under fire, a coach that's been under fire. Fellas last night said, I've had a hard time getting these guys ready, but I'll guarantee you he has them ready today. They're knocking the 49ers off the line of scrimmage on the run and pass protected perfectly forever.
Lansford's extra point is good. It's 21-7 Rams.
Watch the job that they do right here in the middle. You're going to run up the middle. You got to get the push on that nose tackle. Watch the movement they get. They get that turn going backwards and down, and when that happens, this is going to happen.
Duval Love, a good block on DeLong to clear it out. Again, a reminder, the doubleheader, the college football doubleheader next week. Texas A&M and Texas at 12 Eastern time, followed by Auburn against Alabama at 3 o'clock Eastern time. And then the Heisman Trophy Award, sponsored by Kodak. That's Saturday at 6:30 Eastern time. Looks like the Heisman race, John, might be down to 2 players now. Ty Detmer and the Rocket.
I'll tell you, every time I see the Rocket with the ball, he's running a long way with it. Guys are celebrating.
That's so true.
I know if I were still a coach or a scout, I'd sure like to have him on my team.
The intensity of the rain has increased just a bit as we play the closing seconds of the first half here at Candlestick Park.
I'll tell you, the one thing the 49ers haven't been able to do is, you know, their one goal had to be on defense is to rush Everett. They haven't done that, and now they lost the best guy to do it in Charles Haley.
And the Rams have been able to run the ball against what has been the best rushing defense in the NFC. Lansford picked off a short one. Jamie Williams. To summarize the scoring so far, Cleveland Gary on a very unusual pass from McGee. Gary on a 10-yard run. 49er touchdown, Taylor from Montana. And just a second ago, Buford McGee up the middle, 6 yards out. At the half, the NFL Today with Greg Gumbel and Terry Bradshaw with the scores and highlights. And there have been some strange things happen in the NFL today.
And there's one happening right here in front of us.
Montana gets it out to Rathman, who curls out of bounds.
The big argument today was, you know, who's the best, the Giants, the 49ers, or the Chicago Bears? And you look early, the Giants go down to the Eagles. The Bears go down to the Minnesota Vikings. And in the first half here, the 49ers are going down to the Rams. maybe instead of, who's the best, maybe the question can be, is anyone any good?
Well, we started the day, I don't know if you would like to talk mathematically or not, because it's a very, very slim chance, but all 28 teams could still make the playoffs.
And here's a team, you see that John Robinson has been in the playoffs 6 out of the last 7 seasons, and they're still not out of it, although that's not on his mind now. His mind is just, they just went into a tailspin that he wants to get reversed.
He said that's the most frustrating thing to him about this year's team. He feels personally responsible, and he said, I just haven't been able to turn it around.
And I think maybe, it may be too late, but in the process of this first half, he is turning it around.
Incomplete with 23 seconds left, intended for Roger Craig.
I'll tell you, because they know how to play these 49ers. They came into this game playing them with the 6 defensive backs, and in doing that, they weren't going to let them get those short ones quickly. And they were going to say, if you're going to beat us, you have to beat us with the run. And the 49ers just haven't been able to find anything open. They can't get anything going in their passing game, and they haven't run against that nickel.
3rd and 6, Montana back to throw. Gets it to Craig. Should get a first down, stopped by Bill Hawkins.
You talk about the confidence that the Rams have picked up. I think the 49ers have lost some of their confidence, because usually the end of the game, the end of the half, this guy's a master. And everyone expects a boom, take him down the field, boom, 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 score. And they don't look like they're in that mode now.
9 seconds left to play in the first half. That was Roger Craig's 500th career reception.
And there's a guy that probably threw most of those 500 to Roger Craig. Amazing guy, amazing quarterback. Roger Craig has been such a big part of this team. He's one of those, when he's healthy, and he's been nagged by injuries this year, but when he's healthy, he is the all-around back. The guy that runs it for you, the guy that catches it for you. As you said, just 500 catches he's had, and also the guy that blocks.
Rams are going to stay away from it. Let it roll around. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Rams 21, San Francisco 7.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Cadillac. Discover why the only way to travel is Cadillac style. Citizen watches. Citizen, we've got elegance. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. Remember, know when to say when.